I haven't been sick in 35 years. And right away, I know what some of you might be thinking. 35 years? That's impossible. That's got to be an exaggeration. And let me be perfectly clear from the start. I understand your skepticism. I'm not here to sell you some magic pill, a fancy powder, or an expensive, unproven cure. I'm here to share something much more valuable. A system. A blueprint that has worked, not only for me, but for hundreds of people I've guided over the years. In today's deep dive video, we're going to cover everything. Not only will I share the simple, 4-ingredient morning drink that has been the foundation of my health, but we're going to go much deeper. I will also reveal the hidden science behind why each ingredient works so powerfully together. We will expose the common, dangerous myths about aging that are keeping so many people stuck and afraid. And for those of you who stay with me towards the end, I will give you 3 complementary power habits to amplify your results even further. So I invite you to get comfortable and stay with me, because this isn't just a recipe video. This is a masterclass in taking back control of your health. And it all starts right now.
So let's get real for a moment. Does any of this sound familiar to you? It often starts with the small things, the little annoyances that you try to brush off, that feeling that you're catching a cold every few months, waking up with eyes that feel dry and gritty, like there's sand in them. It's reaching for your glasses only to find they don't seem to sharpen the world like they used to. It's trying to read a menu in a restaurant or the instructions on a pill bottle, and the words are just fuzzy. It's the simple act of driving at night when the headlights from other cars suddenly explode into a blinding starburst, making you grip the steering wheel a little tighter. And then there's the fog, the mental fog. It's walking into a room with a clear purpose only to stand there, completely frozen, with no idea what you came in for. It's being in the middle of a great conversation and having the perfect word or a familiar name just vanish from the tip of your tongue. I've seen this pattern hundreds of times over my 30 years of work, and I remember one client in particular. For her privacy, we'll call her Mary. Mary was a 72-year-old grandmother. Her greatest joy in life, the one thing she looked forward to all week, was reading bedtime stories to her grandkids. But her vision had gotten so bad that the words in their favorite storybooks had become a meaningless blur. She came to me, and I'll never forget the look in her eyes when she said, "I feel like my world is shrinking. The things that bring me joy are being stolen from me, one by one." And what Mary was describing, that is the real pain, isn't it? It goes so much deeper than just blurry vision or a forgotten name. It's the silent, creeping fear of losing your independence. The fear that one day you might not be able to safely drive a car or manage your own finances. The fear of becoming a burden on the people you love most. And perhaps the most terrifying one of all, the fear that the precious memories you've spent a lifetime building might just fade away. That is the fear that keeps people awake at night. And it's a fear you do not have to live with, because what you're experiencing is not a personal failing. It is a biological process. And once we understand it, we can fight back.
So what happens when you go to your doctor and you describe these feelings? The dry eyes, the brain fog, the fatigue, the fear. You'll most likely get a well-meaning pat on the shoulder and hear the 5 words that steal all hope. It's just a part of aging. And today, I want to tell you that this is the single biggest, most damaging myth when it comes to your long-term health. The problems you are facing are not a symptom of the number of candles on your birthday cake. They are a symptom of a body that is out of balance. The real culprits are 2 biological processes that have been quietly building up in your body for decades. Think of them as 2 thieves in the night, stealing your vitality while you sleep. Their names are chronic low-grade inflammation and oxidative stress. And where do they come from?
They're a product of our modern world. They're fueled by the processed foods on our shelves, loaded with hidden sugars and inflammatory oils. They're fueled by the constant low-level stress of our 24/7 connected world, which keeps your body in a state of emergency that never truly turns off. This understanding allows us to bust the next big myth, which is especially damaging for your vision. Myth number 2 is, you just need stronger glasses. Let me be clear, glasses are a wonderful tool, but they are a crutch. They help you manage the symptom, but they do absolutely nothing to address the root cause of why your vision is declining in the first place. It's like constantly bailing water out of a sinking boat instead of plugging the hole. The inflammation and oxidative stress attacking the delicate blood vessels in your eyes, that is the hole. And this leads to the third and perhaps most frightening myth. Significant memory loss is inevitable. For decades, we were taught that the brain we had was all we'd ever get, and that as you got older, it could only decline. But modern science has proven that to be completely false. Your brain has a remarkable ability to repair itself and create new neural pathways. It's a process called neuroplasticity. But it can only do that if it gets the right materials, abundant oxygen, and the proper nutrients. And what prevents it from getting those materials? You guessed it, the inflammation and oxidative stress that are clogging up its critical supply lines. So now you know the truth. It's not about your age. It's about fighting these two enemies. And you don't fight them with a complicated prescription. You fight them with simple, powerful, natural tools. You start by changing what you put into your body first thing in the morning. And that begins with our very first and perhaps most surprising ingredient.
So, what is this foundational ingredient? It's not a rare root from the Amazon or an exotic berry from the Himalayas. It's simple baking soda. And I can almost see you through the screen right now, raising an eyebrow. Baking soda? The bright orange box I use for baking cookies and cleaning my countertops? Yes, that exact one. But what most of us don't realize is that this humble kitchen staple, when used correctly, is one of the most effective and inexpensive tools for fighting our #1 enemy, chronic inflammation. Its use for health isn't new. For generations, our great-grandparents often reached for a bit of baking soda in water to soothe indigestion. It was a piece of folk wisdom passed down through the years, but it's only recently that science has begun to understand why this simple substance is so powerful. Let's start with inflammation. In 2018, researchers at the Medical College of Georgia made a groundbreaking discovery. They found that when you drink a baking soda solution, it actually sends a signal to your spleen, a key organ in your immune system, telling it to calm down. Instead of producing aggressive immune cells that promote inflammation, it encourages the spleen to produce more anti-inflammatory cells. Think about that. It's literally flipping a switch in your body's command center, changing the message from attack, attack to all clear, stand down. This simple signal caused a significant drop in inflammatory markers in just 2 weeks. But that's only half the story. The other major benefit is its effect on your body's pH level. Our modern, stressful lives and diets tend to make our internal environment more acidic. And in an acidic environment, our cells can't function optimally. It's like trying to grow a beautiful garden in sour, acidic soil. It simply won't work. Baking soda, which is naturally alkaline, helps to gently neutralize that excess acid. It creates a more balanced internal soil where your cells can thrive, absorb nutrients effectively, and communicate properly. Now, a common question I get is, how much is too much? This is critical. For this health purpose, more is not better. We stick to a small, safe, and effective dose, just 1/4 of a teaspoon per day. Taking large amounts can disrupt your mineral balance, so consistency with a small dose is key. Another question, will this interfere with my stomach acid for digestion? When taken in warm water on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, it has a systemic effect and is generally out of your stomach by the time you eat breakfast, so it shouldn't interfere with digestion for most people. And here are 2 crucial pro tips. First, make sure your baking soda is pure. While most major brands are fine, I personally prefer those explicitly labeled aluminum-free for extra peace of mind. Second, and this is non-negotiable, never use the box that's been sitting open in your fridge. It is a master at absorbing odors. Buy a fresh, sealed box that is dedicated only to your morning health drink. So, baking soda prepares the soil of your body. It calms the fires of inflammation and creates the perfect balanced environment for healing to begin. But to plant the seeds of true rejuvenation, especially for your eyes, we need to introduce our second powerful ingredient. It's a vibrant, zesty protector that will work in perfect harmony with the foundation we've just built.
And that protector is the beautiful, humble lemon. If baking soda prepares the soil by calming inflammation, then lemon is the powerful shield that protects the tender new growth from the harsh elements. Specifically, it protects you from our second enemy, oxidative stress. Let's talk about what that really feels like. If you've ever been driving at night and the headlights from oncoming cars seem to explode into a blinding starburst, or if you found yourself holding a menu further and further away from your face to read it, you are experiencing the direct results of oxidative stress. Humanity has understood the lemon's protective power for centuries, even if we didn't know the science. Back in the 1700s, long sea voyages were plagued by a terrible disease called scurvy. A Scottish naval surgeon discovered that a simple daily dose of citrus, like lemons, could prevent it entirely. They didn't know about vitamin C then, but they knew this golden fruit held the key to health and survival. So what is oxidative stress? The simplest way to think about it is biological rust. It's caused by unstable molecules called free radicals that bounce around inside your body, damaging healthy cells. The most delicate parts of your eye, the lens and the retina, are extremely vulnerable to this rusting process. Over time, it's what makes our vision cloudy and dim. This is where lemon comes in as our protector. It is one of nature's most concentrated sources of vitamin C, which is a world-class antioxidant. An antioxidant's job is to hunt down and neutralize these free radicals before they can do any harm. Think of it as a personal bodyguard for your cells. And how effective is it? A landmark study by the National Institutes of Health, which followed thousands of adults, found that a consistent, high intake of vitamin C can reduce the risk of developing age-related cataracts by as much as 50%. That is a staggering number. But lemons are more than just vitamin C. They are also packed with compounds called bioflavonoids. These are powerful plant pigments that work as a team with vitamin C, making it even more effective. They are particularly good at strengthening the walls of your capillaries, those tiny, fragile blood vessels that deliver life-giving oxygen to your retinas. Stronger vessels mean better circulation and a healthier, better nourished eye. Of course, these benefits extend beyond your eyes. The same antioxidant power helps protect your skin from damage, and the citric acid in lemons gently supports your liver in its natural detoxification processes each morning. Now, a very common question I get is, can I just use the bottled lemon juice from the store? My answer is always a firm but respectful no. That product is often heat pasteurized, which destroys the vital enzymes and dramatically reduces the vitamin C content, and it's frequently full of preservatives. For this to work, it has to be from a fresh lemon. Another question, What about limes? Limes are a great alternative. They have a very similar nutritional profile and can be used interchangeably if that's what you have on hand. Here's a pro tip for when you're at the store. Choose lemons that feel heavy for their size and have thin, smooth skin. They'll be the juiciest. And whenever your budget allows, opt for organic to avoid the pesticides that can accumulate on the peel. So we've prepared the soil with baking soda. We've erected a powerful shield against oxidative stress with the lemon. Now we need to open up the supply lines. We need to ensure that blood, oxygen, and all these amazing nutrients can actually reach the cells in your eyes and your brain. And for that, we need our third ingredient, a spicy, warming activator that gets everything moving.
And that activator is one of the most revered spices in human history, ginger. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like your brain just isn't firing on all cylinders, leaving you in a persistent mental fog? Or maybe you notice that your hands and feet are often cold, even when it's not cold outside. These are classic signs of sluggish circulation. You can have the best nutrients in the world in your system, but if your delivery network, your circulatory system, is slow and congested, those nutrients will never reach their most important destinations. Your eyes and your brain, with their vast networks of tiny, delicate blood vessels, are the first to suffer from a traffic jam. Ginger is the key to opening up these pathways. For over 5,000 years, ginger has been a cornerstone of ancient healing traditions, like Ayurveda in India and traditional Chinese medicine. It was considered a warming medicine, prized for its ability to increase qi, or life force. What they were describing, in modern terms, was its incredible ability to improve circulation and blood flow. So how does it work? Ginger is what's known as a natural vasodilator. That's a fancy word, but the concept is simple. It helps to relax and widen your blood vessels. Imagine a traffic jam on a narrow one-lane road. That's sluggish circulation. Ginger helps to open that road up into a 4-lane superhighway, allowing blood to flow freely, delivering more oxygen and more nutrients to every cell in your body. The main active compound responsible for this powerful effect is a substance called gingerol. It's what gives ginger its signature spicy, pungent flavor. Gingerol is a potent anti-inflammatory in its own right. In fact, that study in the Journal of Medicinal Food found it could reduce eye-specific inflammation by up to 25%. But its real magic in this formula is getting the blood moving. Better blood flow to the retina means a healthier, more resilient eye. Better blood flow to the brain means sharper thinking, better memory recall, and an end to that frustrating brain fog. And of course, many of you already know ginger for its incredible effects on the digestive system. It's one of the best natural remedies for indigestion and nausea because it helps to calm the stomach. That same calming anti-inflammatory effect that helps your eyes also works wonders for your gut health, creating a positive ripple effect throughout your entire body. Now for a common question, does it have to be fresh ginger or can I use the powdered kind? My strong recommendation is to always use fresh ginger root. The gingerol content is highest and most active in its fresh state. However, if fresh isn't an option for you, a high-quality organic ginger powder is a decent substitute. Just be sure it's pure ginger with no added fillers. As for how much to use, you don't need a lot. A small piece about the size of the tip of your thumb, finely grated, which is about half a teaspoon, is perfect. You're looking for a gentle, pleasant warmth in your chest after you drink it. That's how you know it's working its magic. Here's a pro tip. When buying ginger, look for a root that is firm and smooth, not wrinkled or soft. And you don't even need to peel it, especially if it's organic. Many of the beneficial compounds are right under the skin. Just give it a good scrub, and it's ready to go. So let's recap. We've prepared the soil with baking soda. We've shielded our cells with lemon. And now we've activated the delivery system with ginger. We have just one ingredient left. This final ingredient is the master harmonizer. It's not spicy or sour, it's sweet. It's the one that ties all the others together and adds its own ancient, powerful layer of healing to every single sip.
And that final master ingredient is honey. Now, I know for some of you, alarm bells might be going off. Honey? Isn't that just sugar? I've been told to avoid sugar to fight inflammation. And if you're thinking that, you are absolutely right when it comes to the refined, processed sugars that fill our modern diet. But real, raw, unfiltered honey is something else entirely. It is not a simple sugar. It is a complex, living food with a history of healing as old as humanity itself. In this drink, it's not just a sweetener. It's the harmonizer that brings all the other flavors together and adds its own profound layer of healing. For thousands of years, across nearly every culture, honey was revered as liquid gold. The ancient Egyptians used it not just as food, but as a medicinal wound dressing. The ancient Greeks called it the food of the gods, believing it bestowed longevity. They recognized that it wasn't just food, it was medicine. So what makes it so special scientifically? While lemon provides the antioxidant powerhouse of vitamin C, honey brings a completely different team of antioxidants to the fight, primarily powerful compounds called flavonoids and phenolic acids. Research published in the American Journal of Ophthalmology has highlighted how these specific antioxidants help protect the delicate tissues of the eye from the damage of oxidative stress. Furthermore, raw honey possesses natural antibacterial and antiviral properties. This is why it's so famously soothing for a sore throat. It helps create an inhospitable environment for bad microbes, giving your immune system an extra layer of support first thing in the morning. And for anyone suffering with dry eyes, this is fascinating. Honey is a natural humectant, meaning it attracts and retains moisture, helping to soothe irritated tissues from the inside out. Now for the big questions. First, I have blood sugar concerns or diabetes. Can I use it? This is a very important consideration. While raw honey is metabolized differently than refined sugar, it will still impact blood sugar. The amount we use, 1 teaspoon, is small. However, it is absolutely essential that you consult with your doctor, monitor your personal levels, and decide if it's right for you. Your health must come first. Second, what's the real difference between the honey in the plastic bear and raw honey? The difference is night and day. Most commercial honey is heavily processed and pasteurized, heated to high temperatures, which destroys its delicate enzymes, pollen, and beneficial compounds. Raw, unfiltered honey is honey as the bees made it. It might be cloudy, it will crystallize over time, and it contains all the powerful components that make it a true superfood. This is non-negotiable for our drink. The number one rule is, if the label doesn't say raw or unfiltered, leave it on the shelf. A good quality local raw honey is a perfect choice. Store it in a cool, dry pantry, not the fridge. And if it crystallizes, don't worry. That's a sign of a good quality honey. Just place the jar in a bowl of warm, not hot water until it becomes liquid again. So there you have it, the 4 pillars of our morning ritual. Baking soda, the foundation that balances our system. Lemon, the shield that protects our cells. Ginger, the activator that opens the pathways. And honey, the healer that harmonizes and nourishes. This combination alone is life-changing. But for those of you who have stayed with me this far, I want to give you a special bonus. I want to share 3 simple power habits that you can do this week to amplify the effects of this drink and accelerate your journey back to health.
All right. You have been incredibly patient. You've learned the what and the why behind our powerful morning drink. Now, as I promised you, for those of you who have stayed with me, I want to give you 3 simple yet profound habits you can start using today to truly amplify its effects. Think of the drink as the spark, and these habits as the kindling that helps that spark grow into a strong, steady fire of health. Power habit number 1 is about nutrition. This week, I want you to focus on adding one specific thing to your diet: leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, collard greens, or Swiss chard. These are nature's multivitamins, but for eye health, they contain two crucial antioxidants we haven't discussed yet: lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of these two compounds as internal sunglasses. They are drawn directly to your retina, where they form a protective layer that helps filter out damaging blue light from screens and the sun. They are absolutely critical for maintaining a sharp, clear macula. Just adding a handful of spinach to a smoothie or having a simple side salad with your lunch is a true game changer for long-term vision health. Power habit number 2 is a physical one, and you can do it right now, sitting where you are. It's called the 20-20-20 rule for relieving eye strain. When we stare at screens, our phones, our computers, our TVs, our eye muscles are held in a constant state of tension. This leads to fatigue, dryness, and headaches. We need to give them a scheduled break. The rule is simple. Every 20 minutes, look away from your screen at something that is at least 20 feet away for a full 20 seconds. That's it. You can set a quiet timer on your phone as a reminder. This simple act allows the focusing muscles in your eyes to completely relax. It's a mini meditation for your eyes, and it dramatically reduces the digital eye strain that contributes to vision decline over time. And finally, power habit number 3. This one might be the most important of all because it targets the root of inflammation: stress. This is my 1-minute reset breath. When we're stressed, our body releases a hormone called cortisol. Constant high cortisol is a primary driver of chronic inflammation. The fastest way to lower it is to activate your body's built-in relaxation response, and you do that with your breath. Here's how we do it. Sit up straight and place a hand on your belly. You're going to breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your belly expand, then hold your breath for a count of 4. And finally, exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, as if through a straw. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just doing that 3 or 4 times sends an immediate, powerful signal to your entire nervous system to calm down. Do it when you're stuck in traffic, waiting in line, or anytime you feel that familiar tension rising in your shoulders. So now you have the drink, and you have 3 power habits to support it. The foundation is laid, the system is in place. All that's left is to put it into action. Let's head into the kitchen, and I'll walk you through, step by step, how to create your very first glass of this healing morning ritual.
Welcome to my kitchen. This is where the magic happens. And I want you to think of this as more than a recipe. This is a quiet 5-minute ritual you perform for yourself before the demands of the day begin. It's a true act of self-care. We begin with about 8 to 10 ounces of warm, filtered water. As we discussed, comfortably warm to the touch, not hot. First, we add our foundation, 1/4 teaspoon of pure baking soda. We add this first so it has a chance to fully dissolve. Just give it a good stir until the water is clear again. Next, our protector, the juice of half a fresh lemon. And here's that little pro tip. Before you cut it, roll it firmly on the counter with your palm. This breaks up the pulp inside and helps you get so much more juice out of it. Now, we squeeze it directly into the glass. Watch that gentle fizz as the lemon juice hits the water. That's a beautiful, natural reaction. Now for our activator, about half a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger. I like to grate it directly over the glass. The aroma it releases is just incredible, so spicy and invigorating. And finally, our healer.
1 perfectly measured teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey. Watch how it slowly sinks into the warm water before you stir it in. It's a beautiful sight. Now, take a moment and just look at it. This beautiful, golden, cloudy mixture. You can see the tiny flecks of ginger suspended in the glass. The scent is a perfect harmony of zesty citrus, spicy ginger, and sweet honey. It truly smells like a fresh start. And when you drink it, don't rush. Find a quiet spot. Take a sip and feel that gentle warmth as it goes down. This isn't a task to be checked off a list. This is your moment, your daily promise to yourself. It's simple, it's natural, and it's powerful. And doing this one small thing consistently can be the first step on a new path, a path back to feeling like yourself again.
Before we finish, I want to leave you with a final thought. If you take anything away from our time together today, let it be this. It is not too late. You are not broken, and you are not defined by your age. You are a living, breathing human being with a body that has an incredible, innate desire to heal. Let me tell you quickly about Robert. He was 80 years old when I first met him, a proud man who was devastated because he had just failed his driver's license renewal test due to his declining vision. He felt like his independence was over. He started this simple morning ritual, and he was consistent. He made no other huge changes. 6 months later, he walked into his retest with confidence and passed with flying colors. It wasn't a miracle, it was consistency. He simply gave his body the tools it had been asking for. So I invite you, tomorrow morning, just try it once. As you drink it, give your body a simple message. We're a team, and I'm listening now. And just see how you feel. If this deep dive video was helpful to you, I'd be so grateful if you gave it a like and tapped that subscribe button. It tells YouTube that you value this kind of trustworthy, in-depth health information, and it helps others find it. And if someone you care about came to mind while watching this, a parent, a friend, a spouse, please consider sharing this video with them. It might be the message of hope they need to hear today. Finally, to make a commitment to yourself, let me know you're ready to start by simply commenting with the number 1 below. It's a small way to declare your intention. I will be in the comments reading your stories and cheering you on. Because after all these years, my core belief has only gotten stronger. Your body wants to heal. All it needs is for you to become its partner. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Be well.